I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark. Hello, this is Tammy Taylor, your Manifestation Muse, welcoming you to your Aquarius New Moon reading. This is all planets go time. Important time for you, important time for me. The planets have been retrograde for most of 2018, and now finally there's a thrust toward what we are seeding this year for 2020. Now, before we get into all of that, the reason why the Aquarius new moon is so important all the time, even when planets are retrograde, but now we have all direct, so it's even that much more important, right? Aquarius new moon is all about sharing what we came into the world to share with it. It is such a huge energy that supports our purpose for incarnation. It, in fact, really does buoy our dharma, our energy that connects us to others, that gifting that we have through that energy of Aquarius. Now, of course, here we talk about the Western moon signs as they relate to our emotions, our ego, the solar energy, the earth-centric astrology of the tropical Western perspective. And that is the aspect of ourselves that is reactionary. It's our conscious thoughts for the most part, for those of us who are in tune with Great Mother Speaks, but for other people it may be a very, very unconscious process. Here, when we talk about unconscious process, we're using the Vedic astrology, the lunar astrology. It is moon-centric. It is cosmologically oriented, and it is the soul astrology. The Vedic astrology is karmic. It is based on what the soul purpose is. It is not limited to North Node, South Node, or 12th house. It is the entire chart laying out what the soul came here to do and how it came here to do it. Now, of course, both birth charts are defaults. We do have the power, because we're spiritual beings, of free will choice. Once our conscious awareness of who we are is activated, and here we know that we are first and foremost dearly loved divine children of the Great Mother, Father God. That's who we are, who are never judged, condemned, or left alone. We're never judged or condemned. There are consequences for our actions. That is karma. And we're never left alone. Our angels, guides, and ancestors are always with us, guiding us, protecting us, helping us to stay in alignment with that dharma, helping us to work out that karma in loving, joyful ways as much as we can stand, as much as we can receive. And so we are here to receive our divine identity. As this channel is designed, it has come forth through the inspiration of Great Mother to speak directly to her children most alienated and estranged from her unconditional love due to our birth mother experience. And my area of life coaching is the specialization of what I coined mama drama trauma. It is a condition in which the mother projects unhealed aspects of herself onto her child, causing emotional and or physical trauma. Now, in cases where the mother is unable, unwilling, or unavailable to heal her own mama drama trauma, because it is a cycle, it is a pathology, it is a family cycle. She is unable to break it, unwilling, or unavailable. She may have transitioned into another life, She may just not be available for other reasons, addictions, all of these other symptoms of mama drama trauma associated with this dis-ease. It's a planetary disorder. And when we do not have that bond to support our own healing through her or through other maternal figures, we learn to live in loving detachment. Now, that's a difficult thing to do, and it is something that is only achieved, to my knowledge, by going through the dark night of the soul, which is why Dorothy is our narrator, our narration, our narrative that we use here to illustrate what that dark night of the soul journey is along that yellow brick road and ultimately through the dark forest, which leads her back home by reclaiming her power, taking that broom, that phallic symbol back that Great Father, symbolized by Oz, told her she would have to do for herself. Now, the three, the Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Tin Man, those in our family, those in our lives, in our environment, our neighbors, our friends, our co-workers, in our world are but reflections of us, aren't they, along our yellow brick road? And Aquarius invites us to look very closely at who our mirrors are in our lives at this time, to give us the downloads that we need in order to clearly move forward along our road, along our life's purpose, so that we can share what we have to give, as Dorothy did with the three. Even in her weakness, she was able to share, even if it was just her journey, because it was something that would add something unto them. They all needed help. And don't we on the planet, we all need help. A huge issue that is coming to the fore universally right now is the environment. And the environment is a variant energy of Great Mother Gaia. A healthy planet, though, necessitates a healthy inner world, which is why Great Mother energy is coming forward so powerfully at this time with Cancer in the North Node. At this time of this reading, Cancer is where Rahu is in the Vedic astrology as well. Vedic astrology precedes Western astrology by 26 degrees. And so this is a very fortuitous time for connecting with that inner love, that inner wisdom. Because in the Vedic astrology in April, end of March, April, the energy will be shifting into North Node Gemini, South Node Sagittarius, and we will continue on with it for the duration of this nodal transit. So, if a healthy planet necessitates a healthy inner world, then a healthy perception of the world outer, the Aquarian energy that's coming forth, ruled by Uranus in the Western, the innovation, the creativity, it's beyond creativity, it's inventiveness. It's that spark of eureka that comes from the soul. If that is to be fully healthy and integrated, our inner world, what that energy is, that Capricorn energy is, beside it is also important. Sidereal soul sign. And right now that Capricorn energy is hosting the South Node, or Ketu at this time, the release position of this nodal transit. It's time to let go. And hasn't Great Mother set us up for this huge let go at this time with the eclipses that have marked both of our new moon readings since the beginning of this year, with a partial solar eclipse for the new moon reading in January and the full moon reading a total lunar eclipse. So are you ready for your Aquarius new moon reading? Capricorn in the sidereal. I hope you are, because these eclipses have set us up for the innovation that we're ready for, that we need at this particular time. Remember, full moon readings that you just had were and are about the climax of the lunar cycle. So the lunar cycle has already climaxed with that total lunar eclipse. We have now come down decrescendo to this balsamic new moon period, where the downloads have come from your Vedic moon sign, and you have a sense of how to realign, reassess your new moon intentions moving forward, and to ask from your ego mind, your emotional mind, to align with it through these new moon wishes, your aspirations going forward. So enjoy your readings. Welcome, Cancer moon sign people. Hope you're getting a hold of this balsamic moon period up to the new moon on the 4th of February, because these are real-time readings. They are now. Great Mother speaks to the now, to the present moment. Our readings accentuate new moon phase energies, what is being planted according to the emotional desires of your Western moon sign. And for you, that's Cancer. Your Vedic is basically the balsamic download period from the intuition, the soul. You get messages during that waning, or what the old folks used to call crying moon. And what we do here with Great Mother Speaks is we align the ego with the soul so that we can see our purpose of life beyond mama, drama, trauma. We can see it with great clarity, balance, and confirmation that is simply an experience to accentuate what we are truly here to do and to get out of life. And what Great Mother's saying for this new moon period for you, Capricorn, the sidereal is new moon in the nakshatra of Shravana. The inner work that's coming out is androgyne. This is a third quarter moon card. This is release. This is letting go. Third quarter moon comes after the full moon. After the full moon, the moon begins to wane, doesn't it? And that contraction period is a period of extraction by the time we get to this third quarter moon. Androgyne is that primal yin-yang energy that we all have. We all have aspects of masculine and feminine within us, as us, expressing as us. And the law of destiny and free will does allow, facilitate, and determine for that will to be expressed in the way it is destined to be. By that, here as your center significator, throat chakra card. Now, when we're talking chakras, we are talking about Vedic astrology, and Mercury rules the throat chakra. Mercury is conjunct this new moon. Okay, and Mercury rules Gemini, which is your sidereal moon sign. So it's clearly coming through that with this new moon in your 8th house, this is the time of year where you regenerate, Cancer moon sign people. This is the time of year that you are being reborn emotionally and intuitively. You tend to, during this time of year, go through your own kind of ego soul metamorphosis. And Great Mother is reminding you of that. She's sending you this double yang, single yin card to say that you are receiving downloads. It is time to act on them. And particularly as it relates to releasing things, speaking that release into existence, trusting that your destiny, not your fate. The fate is the birth chart. The fate is the astrology. The fate is what we were told is to not look to the stars for. We look to the stars as they are expressed within us. We are but stardust. And we are consciously aware that although we have a default pattern of Gemini moon in the soul sidereal, we have a default pattern of Cancer moon, emotional, deep, fickle at times, home-oriented, nurturing, loving energy. It's a default. Based on that awareness of that fated energy that came into existence on the date of your birth, we can now, in real time, working with Great Mother intuitive energy, melt and meld our energies into what they need to be to serve us at this particular time. And the best service for you is to do the inner work of acknowledging that prime yin yang energy within you that is being supported by such a cluster in the South Node, which is about release, with Pluto and Saturn there. It's conjunct Venus at this particular time during this new moon as well. So a very beautiful release is available to you of some things that may be painful to release, because what's bringing this up is Sekhmet. And Sekhmet is the Rage card. Rage is all about anger. It's all about suppressed anger specifically. And depression is a suppressed anger towards ourselves. Rage is just suppressed anger, period. It can be toward ourselves, but it's typically toward others, as we see here in the scene of The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy is very upset that Aunt Em is allowing Miss Gulch to take Toto, who symbolizes her intuition. Something in your life is not only not acknowledging your intuition, it may be you, but since this is not about depression, it's about rage, more than likely you have throat chakra, Mercury, done some perhaps even beautiful communication with others about what you know is unhealthy with regard to this mama drama trauma. What you know you have to lovingly detach from in order for you to be healthy, happy, and whole. But it's not being listened to. And you've had it about up to here with it, is what this card is saying, is being brought up with regard to you trying to live the law of destiny and free will, you trying to activate your destiny beyond mama drama trauma. There is a, what shall we say, a clog in the wheel, that's stopping that will from going forward as it directly relates to someone in your family. It may directly be your mother. It may be a spouse. It could be a child. It could be a sibling, someone who is not listening to you with regard to this toxicity around your relationship with your mother, or your relationship as a mother to your children, that you're communicating you need more support, or that you need more time away, or the child needs to be dealt with so that you can have some time to deal with yourself, or whatever. There's root chakra. This is root chakra, waxing gibbous, coming up to the full moon. If you don't feel it now, there may be a feeling of this frustration with regard to your present situation of what's needing to be released in order for you to move beyond. I feel that there's an angst about dealing with family secrets and really wanting to move beyond it, because the South Node is in your 7th house. Okay. And so, this is really all about, for you over the next really year and a half, really coming to terms with those personal and professional relationships that don't reflect who you truly are and what you truly are about. Now, this may be reflected a lot in your professional life, since your 10th house is where we have all this activity with Uranus and Mars at this time. So there may be some real sudden changes, contracts at work, maybe if you own your own business, maybe some partnerships or things of that nature are getting kind of sticky or shady, or there's some issues coming up that you're just having to make some really important decisions about. And you're just starting to feel overwhelmed or enraged about a particular individual's behavior. Look and see if there are any patterns that are emerging as it relates to why this is happening. because there may be some patterns that were established during mama drama trauma that are showing up now in these relationships at work with this Uranus coming to change everything, and with Saturn really supporting that, coming through those personal and professional relationships. So look at that, because what's in your shadow is Mother Mary, that double yang card, the law of divine father, which is act on what you know to be what's best for you now. This is third quarter moon energy as well. You have all this release energy, and this is gut chakra. Gut chakra there in the center, you can see, is ruled by Mars. Mars rules Aries and Scorpio in the traditional astrology. And so for you, this double yang energy is acting on what you know is causing you to feel this frustration, and acting on it in a way that reflects your new sense of self, your new destiny. And we're going to get into what some of your new moon wishes to align with what that destiny could be for you at the end here. But in the position of what you want on an ego level, on that emotional level, on that level of wanting to align with what you're sensing from your soul, is the Osiris Horus card, is the death and rebirth card. You do want that old way of connecting with people, that old way of being with people to be released. You are tired and you are done, or you're beginning to be, as the full moon comes up during this cycle, tired of justifying the abandonment and abuse around these patterns of mama drama trauma. If it's not directly with your mother, maybe your mother's transitioned, or maybe your mother's sober now even. Sometimes our mother has healed, but we're still suffering the effects, and it's hard for us to shift gears. Listeners to this video could be coming from any aspect of experience, and that's why personal readings can really get into that, because in this house, what we're seeing when we're talking about this fifth chakra energy of rebirth is this mercurial energy that is about dealing with those secrets, those things that have probably been shoved underneath the rug. There may be some issues around sexual addiction as well. And so letting those addictions go, letting those things go that no longer serve you, so that you can open the window up for, instead of there being an extraction of energy that doesn't serve you, an impactful investment of energy that you can let in as a result of letting all that old stuff go, all the old ways of dealing with these issues. And that is what makes rage so useful, is that it shows us exactly where our triggers are. And you want to stay with it and stay self-compassionate long enough to get the message about what those triggers are. Because it's going to show you where your power is. It's going to show you where you are valuable, or what you feel is valuable, and what is being devalued, and what you need to discern as is worthy of your appreciation and your respect, and thereby the respect and appreciation of others. That's the rebirth. That's the death and the rebirth process. Here in this scene, Dorothy's dousing the witch with the bucket of water. Water symbolizes spirit and emotion, that ego soul alignment. She's there ready to sacrifice the sacred cow. And if your mother has healed, sometimes in that situation, you're sacrificing the old idea of your mother being still sick. And your mother is probably healed, and she's been crying out to you since she's been sober. You know that, hey, I'm here for you. But because you've been so conditioned that she isn't, you can't accept it. Or some people who are on the other end of the continuum may still be in a fantasy. Your mother might be a straight out addict herself, and you're codependent, but somehow, some way, you just kind of struggling through, or limping through life and thinking that one day it's going to be okay, when actually you're just dancing with an illusion. And that's what Great Mother's coming through to say. Douse that with that spiritual water. Cancer moon sign people, of emotional and intuitive clarity that says, I'm willing to sacrifice. What sacrifice? Giving up something of value for something of greater value. I'm willing to do that because what's of greater value is that the support for me, Adi Shakti, the primordial mother energy, is wanting to come through for me to give me the support that I need. This is second chakra energy. Second chakra is Jupiter. Jupiter right now is in your 6th house. Okay? And that's love. That's your daily life. That's enjoying your daily life with health, with happiness, with wholeness. That's just the ordinary small things of life. This is the twister dream. This is when Dorothy has returned home after running away. And Great Mother says, it's not time for you to come back yet. And she incarnates as the twister, that Earth Mother energy, the wind. And so that sidereal Gemini wind, air energy, that sharp, intuitive mind, you're downloading, just as she did, what your true desires are, what your true needs are. And they can be amplified, and thereby the investments from others, the contribution from others, emotional contributions of support. We're talking about emotional frequency. We're talking about intuitive frequency here. That is what enables the physical manifestation of your desires to come forward, just as they did when Dorothy did finally awaken from her dream. She was home. She had run away and she wanted to return. But before she could, she had to go on a journey, Cancer moon sign people. And that's what you're on this lunar cycle, in healing from the residue of mama drama trauma. Now, the present status of your ego soul alignment is the Doctor card. This is double yin energy. So you've had double yang, and Great Mother is saying, hey, this is balance with double yin for you. And double yin is, single yin is receiving. Double yin is receiving from your intuition. You are receiving very profound downloads with this 8th house energy of this new moon. It is an annual event for you. It has to do with rebirth and regeneration and second chakra energy, what your true desires are, how you truly and sincerely do connect with others personally and professionally. How that feels for you. There's a lot of changes going on for you professionally. If not, as a business owner or at work and concerned with contracts and agreements, then you are looking at your life purpose, speaking frequency of emotion and intuition, what your dharma is, what your life purpose is. There are a lot of downloads coming to you about that, what that means for you. And Yemiya being the card of why your soul wants to do this inner work at this time of connecting with that primal yin yang energy, to pay attention to that rage, to rebirth it and to alchemize it into your true self-respect, your true self-nurturing and self-trust and loving self, is just to, it wants to surrender to the process. Cancer moon sign people, it wants to take decisive action to face the challenge of surrendering to the process. Your soul is ready to do that. That's why it wants to do this internal work. It knows that it's got this. And with this message from Great Mother, it is confirmation that you truly drew with this heart chakra energy, which is the crossroads between the ego and the soul. This is the scene when Dorothy meets the lion who doesn't have the courage, but we know ultimately he does find it through his own walking out the process, which is what you're doing this lunar cycle. How you want to walk out the process is with the energy of Inanna. Inanna is about accepting the shadow, and in your shadow position was the Mother Mary card, Law of Divine Father, that double yang third quarter moon card, releasing everything that doesn't allow you to move forward with what you know at this time needs to be addressed in your life for you to let go of all the gunk for the new, appreciative, loving, nurturing things to come through for you that you have been downloading needs to happen. So crescent moon, third eye energy is the next lunar phase right after the new moon. It's the planting of the seed of the law of destiny and free will. What will your free will be this lunar cycle? Will your free will be to continue to not acknowledge the rage and frustration that's simmering up, that brought all of this up and pushing it under the rug? Or will it be to look at it with self-compassion? We are divine children of the great Mother, Father, God, who are dearly loved, never judged, condemned, or left alone. And so if we can truly look at our rage from that context as information as opposed to condemnation, it will give us some thoughtful content to analyze. And just as this scene with Oz is, it will be for you. When Dorothy accused him of being a terrible man for what he had done, sent them on that wild goose chase, and here she is with the broom and not home. He responded to her and said, "I'm not a bad man. I'm just a very bad wizard." So the rage doesn't make you bad. Okay? What it does is it clouds your judgment. But if you can step back from the mama drama trauma identity, the fantasy or the condemnation about the abandonment and abuse from your mother or yourself, even judging, self-judgment is huge. You'll see that it's the rage itself that is the information that's giving you the power that you need. Just as Oz realized, it was the power of being the wizard that allowed him to become the good man that he did to ultimately help them obtain their wishes. Now, doing this work, this lunar cycle, and particularly up to the full moon, will render the likely outcome of Moses. This is the learning and living the law card. It's a first quarter moon gut chakra card. That is when Dorothy's receiving her reward from the mayor of Munchkin Land for killing the wicked witch of the West when the house fell on her in Munchkin Land. You may be kind of quizzical, Cancer moon sign people, about, okay, so what is it all about, Alfie, as she was? Or you could actually take Great Mother up on this rebirth offer, and your outcome of receiving the support of the Adi Shakti downloads from the Twister Dream be a surprise gift, an unexpected sense of emotional support from others. That mother who has been trying to reconcile, actually allowing yourself to feel her love and not just brushing it off as, okay, this is weird. Okay, these people are celebrating me because I killed a witch. What? These munchkins, what? Okay. Seeing things with new eyes, that's clarity, right? Because you have done the work this lunar cycle of clearing out the old attic and being reborn. Some suggested new moon wishes for you, Cancer moon sign people, have to do with the humanitarian energy of Aquarius. And of course, again, our wishes are based on our emotional desire, our ego's desire to align with that soul mission to pursue its destiny, its dharma as it relates to others, particularly personal and professional relationships. We have this Jupiter in the 6th house, and so that's going to give you that extra momentum, that kind of verve going forward. And so there may be some revelations that the Aquarian energy is bringing forward as it relates to perhaps a wish that says, I want to be totally open to new and unconventional surprises. I want to be open to unexpected surprises, unexpected freedom. This Uranus energy that's going on here in your 10th house, I want to have a brilliant and inventive solution to realigning my perspective. Embracing the Eureka energy of that Uranus and Mars there in your 10th house, and those decisions and prospects that are coming up in your professional arena, or just internally with your Dharma, you reconsidering what your life purpose is and really taking on what your soul is guiding you toward and allowing yourself to receive those unexpected results. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and sharing. But above all and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you. And I do too. I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana, Mami Ishtar, Kali, Mammy, and Mother Mary.